Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, July 11th. So today we do have the moon in Taurus all day. So it is an earth sign. It's a fixed earth sign, which means that we are trying to stay as present as possible. We're not as concerned with future endeavors or past circumstances or experiences. We really want to focus on the happiness, the joy, the safety, the security, the stability of the here and now. We want to make sure that we are stabilizing, strengthening the things, the elements, the circumstances that we need to kind of continue to build upon and pour into, while kind of recognizing what it is that we are no longer having the energy for. Again, we want to make ourselves feel good. We're very connected to our physical body, to physical circumstances, and we are really kind of looking at our physical realm, our physical environment from a different set of eyes. Now, we will have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information and communication, move into Leo energy here today. Go ahead, listen to that astro forecast. That is definitely going to be a major shift of perspective, of ideas, of communication. We are definitely going to have a lot more fire, a lot more spark, a lot more excitement, really infiltrate our mental plane. So there are 9 different aspects here today. 4 of them are going to involve the moon. Outside of that, Mercury is really kind of competing, if you will, for the limelight, for the spotlight here today in Leo fashion. And we have a lot of mercurial aspects taking place. So this is going to be a major shift of the mental plane, of our thoughts, of our ideas, of our perspective. And we are definitely going to feel the majority of the energy really kind of open up our eyes, if you will, to new elements, new circumstances, to new ideas. So 11 minutes after midnight, Eastern Standard Time, this is when Mercury moves into Leo energy. There's a whole astro forecast. Go ahead, take a listen. Take a listen to the July energy forecast. Download your zodiac forecast for the month of July. Pull out your Cancer season e-guide to really capture the shift. It's very important that we're keeping track of circumstances, of ideas, of power struggles as these astro events take place, so that we can kind of start piecing them together and see what the greater, grander mission actually is for us. So again, a lot of shifting going on in our mental plane. We're going to be fired up, big ideas, big thoughts, big want, need, and desire to communicate and express ourselves, all of the things, mercurial energy. So shortly thereafter, Mercury is going to make an interaction with Mars. Mars, of course, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, who is fresh in this Virgo energy. Mars just moved out of this Leo energy to enter into Virgo energy here yesterday. Go ahead, listen to that astro forecast if you haven't already. Capture that whole vibe if you haven't already. They're going to play very well with each other moving forward. Mercury, now in this fire sign, Mars, a natural fire sign, now grounded out in an earth sign, Virgo energy. This is going to put a lot of pressure on our mental plane, kind of give us a little bit of restlessness in our energy, if you will, because we're feeling rushed. We're feeling like we have to make a decision. We have to pull the trigger. We have to make a choice. We have to resolve things. We have to come up with an idea. We have to come up with a path. We have to come up with a direction. This is a lot of pressure. Now, let me just say, this is not going to be an easy time for us to articulate our thoughts, to express ourselves fully, to even understand what our choices, our decisions, our options may be. But the pressure for us to figure it all out is very much there. And therefore, we can put ourselves in a situation where we are acting on impulse, taking a risk, acting out of haste, deciding, choosing without being well informed. And this is a little bit of a cluster F because, of course, mentally speaking, we're in this Leo energy. Leo energy is a fire sign. It's initiating. It's big. It's grand. We want to align with big ideas. Now, Mars, who initially would be down with this because Mars just wants to take action, deal with the consequences later, he's in Virgo energy right now. Virgo energy is not allowing us to make any moves that are not well thought out, not well planned, not well strategized. We need to focus in on the smaller details. It's an earth energy. We're meticulous. We do have to have a plan and strategy in place before we're bringing anything to life. So although there's going to be this intense pressure for us to choose or decide to make a move or express ourselves, it is best that we resist doing that at all costs. The moon in Taurus energy will sextile, which is a beautiful interaction, with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who is retrograde in Pisces energy. Now, I love this, and you'll often hear me talk about how Taurus energy and Pisces energy work very well together. Pisces energy, of course, is emotional and intuitive. It's inspiring. It's imaginative. It is, the higher realm of ideas and inspirations that we get downloaded with. It's our belief system, what we focus on, new ideas, new dreams, new visions, etc. Taurus energy is earth energy. It's how we bring things to life, how we bring those ideas into form, how we really kind of give birth to these new aspects that are coming in to our highest mind, to our soul self that the Pisces energy rules over. And we have a great ability to bring pieces of that dream, of that vision to life in the Taurus energy. But here's the thing. Saturn, who rules over karma, who rules over roles and responsibilities, systems, structures, foundations in our lives, in this Pisces energy, is definitely trying to show us where belief systems are either supporting or not supporting the moves that we want to make, the ideas that we want to bring to life, this new creation chapter that we're actively trying to manifest. The moon in Taurus, again, kind of wants to enjoy the present moment. And with Saturn being retrograde, we're kind of reflecting back on how it is that we got here, back on old dreams, back on old emotions. We're, really reflecting over the roles and responsibilities that we were once happy to kind of take control of, that we're no longer in alignment with. We are reviewing, if you will, the Taurus energy spectrum, which is the here and now, our routines, our relationship dynamics, our money matters, our resources, our skills and talents. And we're really taking a logical, practical approach on what kind of needs a little bit more attention to be brought into life, to be brought into form, to be brought into creation, and what needs to be let go of in order for us to have the space, the energy, the time, the attention to really pour into building these new systems and structures. So emotionally speaking, we're actually feeling very good about what it is that is taking place in the here and now. And that doesn't mean that any not so nice circumstances have actually changed. It means that we are plucking out the silver linings. We are understanding that we're in a process of death, destruction, recreation, and rebirth. And because of that, we're really having to take a good look at what our dream is, what our vision is, what the goal is, and to take a logical, practical evaluation of the here and now on what is going to help us get there and what is actually creating a blockage from us actually getting there. The moon in Taurus is going to make a positive interaction with the sun in Cancer energy. So again, the moon, typically speaking, is the past. The sun is the future. The overlap that we get is the here and now. The moon in Taurus wants us to be grounded, wants us to be stable, wants us to be happy, enjoy ourselves, really tap into the little luxuries of life and really just kind of soak it all in. The sun, if you will, in this Cancer energy is shining a bright light on the basic needs, the basic actions, the basic boundaries that we need to feel safe and secure, the basic ways that we need to take care of ourselves. And the moon, being in this Taurus energy, wants to focus on taking care of our physical bodies, taking care of our relationships, taking care of our finances. So the overlap of what it is that we're letting go of and the overlap of what it is that we desire to bring to life leaves us in this present moment to make a decision on what it is that we are closing the door on and what it is that we're opening up the door to. Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, ruler of communication, ruler of how we express ourselves, and now in this Leo energy is going to make a positive interaction with Saturn. Saturn being retrograde in this Pisces energy is definitely a totally different vibe. Okay, so the Leo energy that Mercury is in is a fixed sign, it's a fire sign, it's initiating, it's exciting, it's passionate, we're sparking kind of new ideas, new goals, new visions. The Saturn energy, and lucky for us, this is a good aspect. The Saturn energy is kind of bringing us down a couple of pegs. He's not trying to ruin our parade. He's not trying to knock the wind out of our sails. But Saturn needs us to think logically and practically. So you take that big dream that Mercury in Leo is pushing us to have, but then apply logic and practicality on how it is that we're actually going to achieve it or attain it. You know, many times we come up with these outlandish scenarios for ourselves that we would just love to manifest, we would love to be living, but they're so far away from what we are currently experiencing that it seems a little bit daunting that we'll never get there. Saturn brings in the logical, practical approach on the building aspect. What do we need to build in order for us to get away from where it is that we're at and closer to where it is that we desire to be? What is the proper channel? What is the proper step? How can we move methodically through the plan and strategy in order for these big dreams, this big vision, this big goal to actually be achieved? So it's not that Saturn is coming to rain on our parade. It's that he is supporting us to think as big as possible and conjure up a dream and a vision that we want to work towards, but in a realistic manner. Mercury then gets into the boxing ring and squares off with the North Node in Taurus energy. So here's the thing. Mercury getting into the boxing ring with the North Node means that we're confused. We don't know what the next step is. We don't know what the vision is. We don't know what the goal is. We want to because there's this intense pressure for us to figure it all out, but we actually don't know realistically what it is that we need to be pouring our time and our energy into. That North Node is our soul path. It's our destiny point. And right now we're stuck. Why are we stuck? Well, because we want a certain circumstance that can be born out of a certain situation, but we don't have all of the debris of the old, of the past cleaned up in order to even actively start working towards a new goal. And so we aren't really growing. We aren't really healing in this moment. What we're doing is we're focusing in on the blockages. We're focusing in on the challenges. You know, Mercury being in this Leo energy right out of the gate has such big ideas and such pressure for us to figure it all out, but it doesn't make logical, practical sense on how it is that we're going to get there based off of the information and details of our current circumstance. So there's this challenge, there's this power struggle. It's like, wow, I'm not solving anything. I don't know how to get there. I don't know what I want. I don't know what to do to get it. I don't know how to figure it out. And so we kind of end up, I'm going to say, not spiraling, but we end up in this power struggle of the mental plane where we're not as positive and optimistic as we probably were earlier in the day, that we're actually going to be able to achieve the dream, the vision, the goal that we're setting out for ourselves. We get a little bit down on ourselves, if you will. Mars steps in. Mars is in Virgo energy. Mars is going to trine with the North Node shortly thereafter. Why do we love this? Well, because the Virgo energy is the problem solver. We reorganize, we restructure what needs to be kind of taken care of in order for us to clean up the debris of the past, in order for us to correct the problem, in order for us to come up with a solution on the issues that obviously are creating a blockage on us being able to move forward. Mars wants to take action. Mars wants to be inspired. Mars wants to be motivated. And the trine is a beautiful energy because it is a earth on earth energy between the Virgo energy that Mars is in and the Taurus energy that the North Node is in. So we are logical, practical. We are present. We are in the here and now. We are taking a good stock, a good inventory on where it is that we should even start. And as you've been hearing me mention, when we first move into an energy, we move into cleanup mode first. We have to examine what we're no longer in alignment with, what is causing us problems, where there's blockages and challenges. We have to address the cluster F before we can go ahead and solve it. And right now we're only one day into this Mars Virgo energy, which means that we're stepping back and we're taking in all of our circumstances, all of our routines, all of our aspects, all the roles and responsibilities. We're taking it all in. We're seeing what needs to stay, what needs to go, and we're actively coming up with a plan on what needs to be addressed, to close the door on, to let go of, so that we have a clean slate to start building towards the new. This is going to give us baby steps, hints, clues on where it is that we should start. Similar, I'll give you an analogy here. You know, when it's cleaning day and you take a look around at your house and you're like, oh, so much needs to be done. Where do I start? This is the vibe. Doesn't mean that we're going to get paralyzed in it. It just means that we have to prioritize what needs our attention first and foremost before we go ahead and start like abandoning what is already in existence in order to try and bring new elements into our realm. We need to clean things up. We need to reorganize. We need to restructure our physical environment, take action, make the moves on cleaning things up so that we have a clean slate to work with when we start building towards bringing new elements into the here and now. 4:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a beautiful interaction between the moon in Taurus energy and Jupiter in this Taurus energy. They conjunct, they come up to each other, they bump into each other, they have a nice little chat. We love this. Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion, beliefs, abundance, blessings. He brings a lot of optimism. He brings a lot of confidence. He brings a certain perspective on the opportunities to grow and build something new. And in this Taurus energy for the next year, we're focused on the new realities that we want to build. New routine structures, new relationship dynamics, new money matters, new skills and talents that we want to kind of build and perfect. There's a whole lot of opportunity for us to build a reality that looks good and that feels good because we are doing it from the raw, authentic heart space instead of the egoic avatar that many of us have used previously to build the life that we're currently unhappy in. So this is a beautiful energy because, of course, the moon is our emotions, our intuition, our unconscious self, if you will. And because Taurus energy is grounded, it's an earth energy, it's fixed, everything is kind of low and slow and steady. We are tapping into a lot of, I'm going to say, beautiful energy, confidence, optimism, to appreciate the here and now, even if we're not in alignment with it, and to really push the boundaries of our emotional realm and our mental realm to see what it is that we want to kind of grow through, what we want to develop, what we want to make better, what we want to improve, what we want to restructure, what we want to reorganize in our physical realm where our physical circumstances are concerned in order to make things more comfortable, in order to make things more pleasurable, in order to provide us with more safety and security than we've been sitting in. This is a peaceful aha moment. This is like just sitting and taking it all in and realizing what we're walking away from, what we want to walk closer to, where the beauty is, especially in the smaller details of our lives, and really grow upon that energy, grow upon that vibration. That is how we manifest new elements, is to be sitting in the attitude of gratitude, a peaceful perspective, recognizing what it is that we want to usher into our lives to make this experience a lot more, well, enjoyable. And so there is this like realization, this gentle understanding, if you will, of what it is that we may want to kind of tackle, what we may want to invest in as far as bringing new future opportunities into the present moment. The last aspect that we have here today is the moon in Taurus, semi-squaring, which is a little bit of a tension, a little bit of a conflict. It's not a straight up confrontation like a square. It's a semi-square, so just a little bit, with Neptune. Neptune, of course, is retrograde in his place of power in Pisces energy, taking us on a little bit of a joyride back. We have to reflect, we have to review, we have to revise, we have to redo. What are we redoing? Well, first of all, the Piscean energy is about our emotions, our intuition, our soul contracts. Now that Neptune is retrograde, we can't really float off into la la land. The rose-colored glasses have been bitch slapped off of our face. We have to confront the details of the here and now. We have to clean up the mess. And so there are soul contracts ending, and we are going to see that right in our face once Venus goes retrograde. However, Neptune right now is having us review the dreams that we once had, the vision that we once had, the inspiration that we once had, whether we're still in alignment with that or not. And in the same token, recognizing our fears, our doubts, our insecurities that are preventing us from actually aligning with a new dream, with a new vision, or a revamped version of the old. And so there is a lot of, I'm going to say, harshness in the air because we can't escape, we can't run, we can't hide. We literally have to grow through what it is that we're going through, and that doesn't feel good. But the moon in Taurus has us grounded, has us in our physical bodies. Again, we talk about the Taurus and Pisces energy. There's a lot of revelation there. There's a lot of revelation on what it is that we need to let go, what we have to provide an ending and a closure to. Again, Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac, we are closing the door on some of the aspects that we have at one point manifested, wanted for ourselves. Now we take a look around at our physical environment where routines, relationships, money matters are concerned, and suddenly we don't really want the circumstance anymore. So what circumstance do we want to usher in? Well, that's the work that we're doing with Neptune being retrograde and Pisces energy. We have to cut the crap out. We have to stop lying to ourselves. We have to stop running from the painful aspects, from the mess, from the debris, from the old. We have to deal with it head on, provide it with an ending and a closure so that we can essentially start building a physical realm, a physical reality that is more in alignment with what it is that our heart and our soul is currently asking us to pursue.